Hello everyone, and welcome to my today's talk. I'm outside once more, and today is a foggy and rainy day in spring, which I like very much as well. A soft and smoothly falling rain. It's mild, no wind, and it gives me a very cozy, snuggly feeling actually. In contrast to all the sun and blue sky of the last days, it's very nice. I'm feeling very happy, very upbeat this morning. And I might be walking a bit today or standing. Don't know yet. I cannot sit down because the ground is wet everywhere. I want to approach a somewhat serious topic again. Well, I would rather say it's an important and necessary topic in the area of spirituality once more. And I do so because I really want to share my experiences and what I've learned from it, my point of understanding and how I integrated it into my life or not. I mean, we need to decide about our experiences if we really want to keep them in a useful way or just let them go for good. I want to talk about extraordinary experiences we can make on our spiritual path, about psychic abilities and the so-called siddhis. I'm not planning to share lots of details of my personal experiences, as always. I'm not even going to share a lot of my experiences at all, but rather what I've learned from it, because it's not about me so much. It's not about showing off what all I have experienced, but to give you some information, some insight, some possibilities to look at these things, to deal with them once you have experienced any of that, to be very critical and be able to distinguish which of those are really useful for you and others, which are not what they are for at all, and most of all, to be responsible, to take responsibility for all that, as it always is in our lives. So quite a long pre-speech before I start today, and let's go. When we dive into this stream of spirituality, of getting aware, of opening up more and more in all planes of ourselves, doing maybe exercises, following a school, following people, whatever we can do or experience that we call spiritual path. I think everybody of us has some really extraordinary experiences, border breaking, opening, more than we have seen and sensed before. We might call it extra sensual. or whatever. It's not the point how we call it. I really think it's necessary somehow to have some border-breaking experiences of some kind, to kind of wake up, to have a look out from this cage, from this prison we humans are trapped in a long time of our lives. But it doesn't have to mean it's something that throws us off from our usual life path completely. I will give you an example. When we start doing meditations, contemplations, exercises to be aware and present, very often what's happening, what we experience is to feel wider inside, to sense ourselves in a way that we expand, that our physical borders somehow get wider. While it is not the physical, it is the energetic body that's expanding, or it's getting more aware, and that's why it feels like it's expanding. That can come with feelings of space, of depth, of light. Maybe we can see light, we can see colors, we can feel warmth, we can feel something that's not really definable but has a great impact on ourselves, can be thrilling, can be moving, can bring up emotions whatsoever. This is something I consider very healthy, very good and necessary, because we are moving away from a stuck state, from a freezed state, and from a limited space where we have been maybe all the time of our life before. Also, all experiences where we feel connected with something outside, like nature, other people, or in a greater sense, life, the planet, God. It's not possible to describe these feelings really, and we shall not try to do it. It's a very personal thing. It can come with a feeling of sacredness. It can make us really wonder who we are in all this. Feel small, feel fragile, or feel very great, because we feel we are one with all this. We are not reduced to this little fragile human shape. Whatever. All this is good and healthy too, in my feelings and experience. It serves us to connect to the inside, to the outside, to realize we are more than this body. We have possibilities of perception that go far beyond our physical senses and far beyond that what we have experienced so far and sensed so far. Maybe some of us, some of you remember we have had these kind of experiences and perceptions in our childhood, because some of us were much more open as children and got stuffed up and closed down over the course of our lives while getting adult. But in the end, it's nothing that really matters if you have had it before and now remember your experience for the first time in your life. Meditation experiences of this kind, or when connecting in a group with other people, when connecting with nature, or through listening to music, by dancing, or other physical activities that implement a state of meditation. Because meditation is not reduced to sitting and breathing in silence, not at all. All of this are very good experiences. Yet, also these are not there to stay there, and they are not a self-purpose, which means they are not there to celebrate these experiences inside or talk about them all the time with other people and feel great, feel expanded, feel connected, and thinking that's it. This is what is to be achieved, what I have achieved now, and I'm finished now somehow, or this is the purpose of spirituality, to experience these kind of things, to sense it this way, to have this kind of perception. That's not the point. It's just something we experience to realize things and then to move on, to just live our lives. And once we have had these experiences, they probably will come more often, regularly, also when we don't achieve them, also when we don't do special exercises to have them. And we shouldn't focus on having them, on getting them, on achieving them. In general, in my experience, we should just let the natural flow of things flow. These things come and go, like everything in life. We shouldn't get stuck on them and see them as self-purpose. They are a gift. They are a kind of healing and reconnection. They help us. They shall serve a higher purpose and not for our single consciousness as single human, not for our ego, not for a thrilling experience, not for getting distraction, not for feeling greater and better and more evolved than anybody else. Certainly not. This is the pitfall included. We must be very aware of that, and it happens very easily. And these were the simplest things we can experience, the purest, and those that probably almost everybody has had when doing meditations, retreats, exercises, contemplations. And I think it's our duty to help others to get aware of the meaning of these things once we know, to help them to move on and not stick to these experiences, not to focus on that all the time. That's not what it's for. And then there are much more thrilling experiences that we can have when we do spiritual schools, exercises, meditations, trance journeys, and whatsoever we can attend, exercise. Nowadays, the market is bursting with possibilities and thrilling and attracting extraordinary things. Be very cautious not to get seduced to do too much of this or to follow this at all. Is it so necessary? I would say everything that comes to you, to us naturally, is okay. I cannot really say I'm sure if it's a good thing to push these experiences, to force these experiences. And it's most definitely not an aim in our spiritual path. It's not something that everybody has to have, that is to be achieved. And foremost, it's not the end of the things in spirituality. It's most probably more a kind of escape. Many people want to get away from boring, painful human life. All we have in our everyday we don't like. It's entertaining maybe. It can get really addictive. It can get really distracting from our lives and dangerous as well. This is very close to the psychic abilities. This goes even a step further. When people think it is something to be achieved. Telepathic abilities, being able to move things by willpower and mind. Influencing other people willingly, purposely. Channeling, talking to spirits, doing astral travel, visiting other dimensions, planets, times. I don't know if you have heard or read all these things or tried some of that. That's a list of things that are possible. And it's not about what I have experienced of all this. I just say I have had some experiences in several things. It's very dangerous to get hooked up on these things. They can really be seductive and addictive and dangerous. Of course, it's possible to train these things. All of us have resources for these things. But why would you do it? What would be your motivation to dig in such things, to train them? Or to be so fascinated you have to read everything about it, talk to other people about it? What is it? Is it really spiritual? Does it really serve you? Does it really help you to live a happy and fulfilled and connected life? I will not answer this for you. Think about it yourself. When we get purer, when we get connected with everything in a very simple and pure way. When we get back to a more childlike state, in the sense of being open, receptive, fragile, curious, and knowing our place in life and existence, then we will naturally experience great things. They will come to us. And this is because we are really changing. We are getting into states where these things become natural, but in a way that is not so thrilling, like when we approach them deliberately and think we have to do it. We have to learn it, we have to attend these courses and train these and that abilities. The natural way is always much more healthy and safer to think about it and decide any moment whether to follow something or not. You always have a choice and you need to choose. That's your responsibility. Something else. When we open up our borders to the psychic world, of course also when it's happening naturally, we get a much more strong influence and impact on our environment, on other people. Be very aware of that. We have to take a much bigger responsibility from that point on. This is very important to know and realize. It's nothing like a game, just trying something out and it has no effect. It has a deep effect on ourselves, on our lives, but also on all the people we come in touch with. It's not really possible to describe all the details of this, but just know that. And the more you push it, the more you just do it because it's thrilling, it's entertaining, it's cool, it's giving you a sense of power and superiority over other people or over life, or gives you a false purpose and meaning in your life. It's very probable, very likely that these things are not controllable to you, no matter how much you train it, because your purpose is not pure. You know, these psychic and astral worlds have their own ego somehow. I would rather say they are not pure and divine from the core. There can be everything because it reflects the emotional world of humanity and all beings here. So there's everything's possible. So you must be aware once you get wired to these realms. You must be the master. You must lead. You must guide. You must know what you do and what is the effect. I must say it in this serious way because it's really important. It's not a game. It's really serious. You really have to be responsible for these things. And so I really need to say it again. When this comes to you naturally, slowly, and you integrate it into your life in a natural and simple flow and way, it's much more likely that it ends in a state of being integrated. You have a slower pace, and it's not so likely that it gets dangerous to you or anybody else. Excuse me, but again, like I have in previous talks, I cannot share without sharing warnings. The spiritual realm is not just light and fun. There are so many things that can be really distracting and dangerous, risky. We must be equipped, we must be aware, we must be informed. Maybe I have to think of something right now. Maybe you know a Disney movie where Mickey Mouse is trying to be a great magician. He's misusing magic power to clean up the place and clear it up without having to do any effort himself. He's enchanting the cleaning utilities so they do the work and he can relax. And of course he doesn't know how to stop it again, and so it's getting a really mess and really threatening because all the water is spread all over the place and all the enchanted items get really out of control, and he's getting really in a bad situation, getting very scared and overwhelmed, and luckily the master is coming home and takes care of all of this. That's an example. We cannot go and just fool around with things we don't know, we don't understand. Not for our convenience, not for entertainment, not to escape, not to impress other people, not to feel greater and better and more evolved and superior. Don't do these things, please. Yeah, psychic abilities. I would say, in general, they are natural because they exist, they are possible. People have them. Some people are born with them, or they are developing naturally, slowly, integrated, healthy. So in general, it's nothing that's wrong. Nothing that exists is wrong or bad per se. It's beautiful to be in nature. It's great to talk about serious or sensitive stuff and then come back to where we are right now to enjoy the environment, sounds of nature, soft, smooth rain, cozy and snuggly. We always need to come back to the simple and natural things in life. That's very important. Come back to simplicity, receptiveness, and get humble again, no matter what great things have come to us and unfolded and showing us something greater, a greater reality. This is a greater reality too, just to walk through nature and be a part of it. It's so beautiful. Do it more often, especially when you're in a phase of your life where lots of extraordinary things are going on, of whatever kind. Reconnect to the planet, to nature, physically. Walk on the grass with bare feet. Sit on the soil. Breathe and be grateful. And see your position in the whole. We are small. And we will always be. And all these huge, amazing things we can experience, they happen to show us something bigger, of course, but know that these things are not your single small humanness. In these moments, the greater forces of nature and existence works for you. It's not you. You don't do it. Don't think that. That's kind of blasphemical, really. It's not you. It's not your deed. It's not your power. You're just being a means, a channel. Be humble. Be grateful. Be cautious. Don't get caught on it. Don't get addicted. Don't get superior. You're nothing better than other people because of that. You're nothing greater than before, only because this has happened. Don't think that. And also, it's not for you. It doesn't happen because of you. It's not to give you something. It's always for the greater whole. And now, in the end, I want to come to talk a bit about siddhis, which is even a bit more than these psychic abilities. A term that describes the most extraordinary things humans are capable of doing, mainly known in India and other areas where people in ancient times have retreated and trained and concentrated on the spiritual path and these abilities very fiercely. Just name some of those. I'm really sure that these things exist and are possible. Like levitating your body from the ground, floating over the ground physically. Like putting your hand into solid substances, or even dissolving your whole body. Relocating physically. Materializing things like ashes, oil, and items. Creating fire, wind, moving earth. I won't name some more because we don't want to stop here. These things are no things that are probably approached by normal people to achieve them, to train them, because it's a bit too huge. But in the end, it's the same as everything I was talking about so far. It's possible. It is something that belongs to existence, to humanity. It's nothing that's very common. It shouldn't be too. The question is, why are these things there? Why do they show from time to time? Why are there people who can perform these things? What is the really purpose of these CDs? I have no experiences with that. Not at all. Not personally. I have witnessed a materialization of sacred oil once. I just described this a little bit. It was a very good experience. I was in a retreat and there was this man doing these blessings. And though he is a teacher and can do extraordinary things, he's still a very good friend of mine and I love him. Like any other human in my life, he's an adorable and humble being, really nice person. And he says, I don't do it and I cannot say what's happening. Anybody who wants to have a blessing can come here and I put my hand on yours. And if everything is like it should be and it's good for me and you and the greater whole, then there might come some oil in your hand. And it's for your opening, for your healing, for feeling connected, for feeling depth and love. He is aware, he doesn't do anything. He's just a channel. It's a blessing for him too, each time. It's not an ego thing, and it's not to impress other people or to thrill them. Well, the oil came up into my hand like a little well. And it's not the oil that came there that really moved me. It touched something deep inside. Very softly, but still very strong. I had to cry about 10 or 15 minutes afterwards, and the oil was going on to stream out of the middle of my hand. So I had to rub it all over my arms and face to use it. It wouldn't drop onto the floor. Really, a flow started in myself. It was an amazing feeling, very deep, very humble, and close to pain, but very moved, very love-filled. Well, I stopped trying to describe it. But you hear what I'm saying. These things should be there for those experiences, for such feelings. And the saints and great people of our past are maybe still living. They were responsible to make sure the people witnessing these CDs make the right experiences. And it depends very much on their focus, on their intention, on their approach, and how they tell the people to take it, to deal with it. Not to doing all the time, these saints and gurus, not doing it all the time before an audience. Why should they do it? Maybe more in an intimate space with people they got to know before. to make sure these people are prepared to really take it in the right way, not to misinterpret it and be misled. Because the witnessing of a siddhi per se is not a guarantee to make the right experience, not at all. Anybody who has these abilities has a huge responsibility for other people. If you, surprisingly, anybody, if you're listening, has any of these abilities, be very selective if, when, and how to show them. It might be even the case that you're not supposed to show it anywhere at all. Not for a long time, maybe never. Because of all that. Because of your responsibility. Maybe it's more meant to lead you to a deeper understanding. Why does this ability come to me? What shall I learn? Maybe I need to get much more humble, much more devoted to the greater whole, to love, respect, and empathy for the world. I don't know. I have not developed these abilities, and I'm not keen on it either, because there's so much responsibility already I have to take for my family, for my friends, for my neighborhood, and other people I get in contact with. That's enough. I'm not looking to have more responsibility at the moment. Not at all. Yeah. Wow. Like always, I feel when I talk about these things, I get more aware of them. So it's a really good thing to do, for me at least. And I really hope lots of you can take advantage of the things I shared, can look critical on their own experiences and path, look at your intentions, why you do things, why you follow schools and movements and do exercises, attend courses, think you have to learn this or that, achieve this or that in your life and on your spiritual path and evolving. If anybody of you has listened to any of my previous talks, I can just add on all that and say, in the end, it's crucial we get simple and humble again and again, and the more we experience, the more we evolve, the more our borders break up and we experience something greater, the more necessary and important it is to come back to the very simple, natural and pure things in life, again and again, on a daily basis. Follow our duties, look for our families and children, cook the meals, clear the house, do the dishes and the washing, look after the pets and plants. Be grateful to be a human and have all these duties. Really be grateful, because I tell you, these things, these ordinary things, the daily stuff, they keep us grounded. They keep us realistic and humble. It's a good thing they are there. I'm grateful to have children and household duties. And doing the petty stuff every day and day, getting sick sometimes, which is also means sometimes to ground and get back to reality and just care for ourselves and our bodies and not stay on the ride of excitement all the time, which is not healthy. The human life is amazing. It's so much included, from the most border-breaking, thrilling and exciting experiences of any kind to the very simple and petty stuff of our everyday duties, like changing diapers, doing the dishes and cleaning the house. It's all great, all good. And I'm very happy to see it this way now. And to getting a humble, simple being is the greatest thing we can achieve in the end. There's nothing more to say. I feel very delighted, very upbeat. I don't know why. It's great. I thank you for listening. I really love to do these talks meanwhile. And I hope you like them too and get a lot out of it for yourself and your life. Have a great day, and maybe we see and meet and hear soon again. Bye bye.